Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In our last video, we started the topic of fixed assets or property, plant, and equipment. And initially, we discussed some of the definitions, some basic definitions. One of them was property, plant, and equipment, and the other one was a useful life of an asset. And we also discussed about some of the examples of fixed assets like buildings, plant, machinery, office furniture, vehicles, etc. So those were the things that we discussed in our previous lecture. We'll continue the same topic of property, plant, and equipment, and we will discuss some more on this topic. So, for any business uh, which is involved in any manufacturing or production process, property, plant, and equipment or fixed asset is the major component of that business, because through that the business will carry out all the manufacturing activity, will do all the production, and then it will sell the products to the customers. Okay, so property, plant, and equipment will play a major role in the operations of the business. Okay, so in the financial statements we can say that in manufacturing businesses, property, plant, and equipment is the major component on the balance sheet of such businesses. Okay, so it's very important, and the accounting treatment of property, plant, and equipment is prescribed by the International Accounting Standard 16, which is named as Property, Plant, and Equipment. And during these lectures, we'll go through all the accounting principles that are defined in the International Accounting Standard 16, and we'll see how the accounting is prescribed and what are the different treatments of items of property, plant, and equipment. So we'll go further in this topic. Initially, we discuss the definitions. Today, we'll discuss more on this topic. So let's start. So we discussed the definition of property, plant, and equipment. We all know that property, plant, and equipment are the tangible items that are held for use in the production and supply of goods or services, or for rental to others, or for administrative purposes, and they are expected to be used more than one period, more than one accounting period. So that was the definition we saw uh, for the property, plant, and equipment. Okay, so now we'll see how, how we'll do the recognition of fixed asset or property, plant, and equipment. So first we'll see what is the recognition criteria. And when I say the recognition criteria, it means that in terms of accounting, what will be the accounting entry, and at what time we can recognize an item of property, plant, and equipment as an asset, and at what amount we need to recognize it. So these are the things that we need to look upon in the recognition criteria. Okay, so uh, we'll go through that. Recognition criteria: the cost of an item of property, plant, and equipment shall be recognized as an asset if and only if there are some conditions prescribed. There are two conditions in the recognition criteria. First one is that it is probable that future economic benefits associated with the item will flow to the entity, and number two, the cost of the item can be measured reliably. So this is the recognition criteria. Any item of property, plant, and equipment can be recognized as an asset when these two conditions are met. First one is all the economic benefits that are associated with that item will flow to the entity, and cost can be measured reliably. What does it mean? For example, if you are having a machinery that will be used in the production, so the point is that production will give a benefit to the entity. So the first condition is that that benefit will be will flow to the entity, means that entity will be able to obtain that benefit, and entity will be able to operate that machinery in order to get the products produced, products manufactured, and then it will sell it to the customer. So in a way we are saying that all the economic benefits associated with that machinery is flowing to the entity means the business entity itself. And number two is the cost of the item can be measured reliably, means that you can reliably measure that cost of that machinery or that item. For example, if you are in a process of installing a machine, for example, you are doing a site preparation, you are doing some construction, and then on that site you will install a machine that will be used in the production process. So all the cost that you are incurring in bringing that machine to its uh, to a condition where it can be used in the intended manner, so you will be able to measure all the cost that is being incurred in that process in a reliable manner. So if that cost can be measured in a reliable manner, then you will recognize that item of property, plant, and equipment as an asset in your books of accounts. So that's the recognition criteria. Okay, so यहाँ रिकग्निशन क्राइटेरिया मैं बता रहा था आपको, और उसकी इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में दो कंडीशंस डिफाइन की गई हैं. The cost of an item of property, plant, and equipment shall be recognized as an asset if and only if it is probable that future economic benefits associated with the item will flow to the entity and the cost of the item can be measured reliably. ठीक है, ये दो कंडीशंस हैं रिकग्निशन क्राइटेरिया में. कोई भी आइटम जो ये दो कंडीशंस फुलफिल करता है उसको हम एज एन एसेट रिकग्नाइज करेंगे, और हम देखेंगे कि ये दो कंडीशंस मीट हो रही हैं. ठीक है, ये तो हो गया रिकग्निशन. अब रिकग्निशन ये हमने डिसाइड कर लिया कि ये रिकग्नाइजेबल आइटम है. ठीक है, अब सेकंड पॉइंट आता है कि उसको किस अमाउंट के ऊपर रिकग्नाइज करना है. जब रिकग्नाइज करना है तो इसका मतलब कि उसकी अकाउंटिंग एंट्री करनी है. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए भी अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स ने ये डिफाइन किया है कि एन आइटम ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी, प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट that qualifies for recognition as an asset shall be measured at its cost. ठीक है, तो जो कॉस्ट है उसके ऊपर जो है रिकग्नाइज किया जाएगा, यानी कि जो भी उसकी अकाउंटिंग एंट्री होगी वो उसकी कॉस्ट के ऊपर होगी. अभी हम देखेंगे जाके कि इसकी अकाउंटिंग एंट्रीज कैसे होती हैं. ठीक है, उसके लिए हम कुछ एग्जांपल्स करेंगे. तो यहाँ तक मेजरमेंट हमें समझ में आ गई कि जो रिकग्नाइज करेंगे उसको मेजर करेंगे कॉस्ट के ऊपर, यानी जो भी कॉस्ट इनकर होगी प्रॉपर्टी, प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट को एक्वायर करने में, उस अमाउंट के ऊपर हम उसको रिकग्नाइज करेंगे. So far we have seen the recognition criteria, and we have seen that at what amount an item of property, plant and equipment shall be recognized. So we know that it should be recognized at cost. Okay, so let's move further and define cost. Okay, so when we say cost of an item of property, plant and equipment, what are the elements of the cost and how we can define the cost. If I uh, give you the examples of cost, first thing can be that comes to your mind should be the purchase price. Okay, we'll see all the elements that will be included in the cost. We'll just see in this video, but first I want you to see the definition, how the cost is defined. And this definition is as per the International Accounting Standard. So cost is defined as it is the amount of cash or cash equivalents paid or the fair value of other consideration given to acquire an asset at the time of acquisition or construction. So the amount of cash or cash equivalents paid in order to acquire an asset or to construct an asset, or the fair value of any other consideration given to acquire an asset. Okay, either you can purchase the asset by giving cash or any cash equivalent. Okay, you can acquire it and you can construct it. Okay, and also you can acquire an asset by giving some other asset in consideration. means that will be an exchange transaction, that will not be a cash transaction. You will be getting the asset, but in return you will be you will not be paying in cash, but you will be giving another asset, just an exchange of assets. So in that way, how the value will be determined? The value will be determined like whatever the value is assigned to the asset or any other thing that you are giving in consideration, that the fair value of that item will be considered as the cost. Okay, so we'll see this fair value thing later. Just keep it aside for now. Okay, because there are further implications in that. We'll see that later. तो यहाँ पे हमने कॉस्ट को डिफाइन कर लिया, एसेट को एक्वायर करते हुए जो भी कैश इक्विवेलेंट आप पे करें, या अगर कोई एसेट एक्सचेंज ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं, एसेट एक्वायर कर रहे हैं, उसकी बजाय उसको कैश पे करने के आप कोई और एसेट दे रहे हैं, तो उसकी फेयर वैल्यू जो होगी उसी को आप कंसिडर करेंगे कि ये उसकी कॉस्ट है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ कॉस्ट. नाउ विल सी what are the elements that can be included in the cost, and we'll see the elements of the cost through different examples over these lectures. Okay, we'll see different examples of acquiring the fixed assets, and we'll see the accounting treatment, and we'll see what are the components of cost that will be included in the uh, cost of property, plant and equipment. Okay, so if we go through the elements of cost of property, plant and equipment or fixed assets will include: number one, this is purchase price less any trade discounts and rebates. Okay, uh, the first thing can be purchase price. Okay, if you are acquiring an asset, definitely you will purchase something, and if you are getting any discounts, you will deduct the discounts from the purchase price, or any rebates are like sometimes any you are getting rebates from the customers, or you are getting rebates from the government. Okay, rebates are some sort of discounts or some sort of uh, encouragement by the government. Like for example, अगर आप कोई गवर्नमेंट आपको इंसेंटिव देती है कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप ऑटोमेटिव इंडस्ट्री में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो आपको जो परचेज प्राइस है उसका 5% जो है आपको रिबेट मिलेगा. ठीक है, हो सकता है, मतलब ये एक एग्जांपल मैं दे रहा हूँ आपको. तो ऐसा कोई अमाउंट जो कि रिबेट के तौर पे आपको मिले, वो आप परचेज प्राइस से लेस कर देंगे. ठीक है. अच्छा, आप रिकॉल करें कि इन्वेंट्री जब हम पढ़ रहे थे तो इन्वेंट्री के कॉस्ट एलिमेंट्स के हमने डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट्स पढ़े थे, उसमें भी यही चीज़ें मोर और लेस थी. कुछ डिफरेंसेस यहाँ पे आपको मिलेंगे, लेकिन आप जस्ट रिमेंबर कि वो क्या एलिमेंट्स थे. वो परचेज प्राइस थी, उसमें ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट थी, उसमें इंपोर्ट ड्यूटीज थी, उसमें टैक्सेस थे, उसमें जो है आपकी अनलोडिंग लोडिंग चार्जेस वगैरह, ये सब चीज़ें थी उसमें. ठीक है, तो इसी तरह से आप देखेंगे कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी, प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट में क्या क्या एलिमेंट्स होते हैं. तो नंबर वन तो हमने देख लिया कि परचेज प्राइस एंड लेस एनी ट्रेड डिस्काउंट एंड रिबेट्स. नंबर टू, यहाँ पे इंपोर्ट ड्यूटीज़ भी आ सकती हैं. कोई भी अगर आप इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं कोई भी प्लांट एंड मशीनरी अपने कंट्री में, तो कस्टम ड्यूटी आप इनकर करेंगे, तो वो कस्टम ड्यूटी दैट विल बी इंक्लूडेड इन द कॉस्ट. Any non-refundable purchase taxes, for example, if you are importing an item of property, plant and equipment from abroad, you might be paying value added tax or sales tax at the time of import, and if that is non-refundable, you will include that in the cost of the property, plant and equipment or fixed asset. If that is refundable, then you will not include it. Okay, so any transportation cost, for example, you are bringing the asset, bringing the item of property, plant and equipment from the port till your uh, to your location, which may be your factory, or the plant the location where you are building the plant and machinery. So that cost, and also the cost of transportation during the importation, or like shipment charges, whatever, that transportation cost will be included in the cost of property, plant and equipment. And the handling costs, and the similarly in the installation cost, like once you brought the machinery or plant at its intended location, then you will start the installing it. Okay, so that installation cost will become the part of the cost of property, plant and equipment. And the assembling cost, like if you have brought the plant in different parts, then you will assemble it, so that will be uh, that will become part of the cost of property, plant and equipment. And like in similar way, any directly attributable costs, for example, there will be many examples for this directly attributable cost, but any cost that is incurred in bringing the item of property, plant and equipment to its location or condition in which uh, it can be ready for its intended use, that item will be included in the cost of the property, plant and equipment. So we'll discuss all these examples, will all these components in various examples, and that will help you understand the cost, how the cost will be comprising for an item of property, plant and equipment. तो ये आपको डेफिनेशन की हद तक इसको याद रखें, ठीक है। इसमें जैसे जैसे हम इसको पढ़ते जाएंगे टॉपिक को, द लिस्ट विल बी इंक्रीजिंग, it's not an exhaustive list. Okay, there may be some items which will include further in that list. Okay, so for now I was like trying to give you a flavor of what type of cost can be included in the property, plant and equipment. So uh, अब हम नेक्स्ट वीडियोस में कुछ एग्जांपल्स करेंगे, और उसमें हम देखेंगे कि हम फिक्स एसेट्स को या प्रॉपर्टी, प्लांट इक्विपमेंट को रिकग्नाइज कैसे करते हैं, और हम देखेंगे कि उसके कॉस्ट कंपोनेंट्स जो हैं वो प्रैक्टिकली किस तरह से होते हैं, ठीक है। सो दैट those examples will be discussed in the next videos, and also the accounting entries, what will be the accounting entries for the recognition. Okay, I hope that is clear for now. Okay, if you have any questions, you can comment on the video. If you have not subscribed the channel, kindly subscribe it. I'm concluding this video. Thank you.